one meeting, just as soon as that blue bar gets across.
Thank you.
All right, so we are live streaming. Okay, let's get started.
All right. So the first meeting is not a really exciting meeting, but they get much more exciting. This is an organizational meeting. So, okay. So I'm Dr. Bachman, and I'm going to call the meeting to order. Good evening. Welcome to Midtown's GO Team meeting, where we will follow the agenda as it has been posted and emailed and publicly noticed. I'm pleased to call this meeting of Midtown GO Team to order at 4:07. I will act in the capacity as interim GO Team chair for this meeting. Our first order of business is to appoint an interim secretary and call roll. Jennifer Keenan has volunteered to be the interim secretary for this meeting only, unless someone else wants to be the interim secretary. Okay, Jennifer, you are it.
Great.
The interim secretary will now take the role.
Okay, when I say your name, please say present. Betsy Bachman,
Here, present.
Eric Golden.
Goldberg,
Oh, God. Yes, Goldberg. It says it right there, sorry. Also, hopefully I'll get my name right. Jennifer Keenan, present. Kurt Kastroff.
Present.
Lisa Boyd. Present. Trinae Uzoka.
Present.
Pramil Das.
Present.
Tamara Jones.
Present.
Misty Bryant.
Present.
And we have two members who will hopefully, who will be appointed, Christian Kenzie,
Present.
Nora Bittman.
Okay. Is there a quorum present?
Yes.
Great. All right. Now we proceed to the action items, which is, the first one is the approval of the agenda. Our first order of business is to approve the agenda. This was provided to you and copies are on the website. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second, okay. Are there any amendments to the agenda? All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand so the secretary can record your vote.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any opposed? All right, we'll now move to filling vacant seats, the open community member seat and the open swing seat. Before we begin this process, I'd like to remind the GO Team of the following. The principal brings forth the nominations for the vacant and open community seats. All GO Team members have only one vote per seat. Individuals filling a vacant seat will serve until the conclusion of the seat's term. We don't have any vacant seats on the GO Team. That would be somebody that was dropped off or something like that. Individual. Upon approval, individuals are immediately full GO Team members and they join the meeting at that time. So that would be for the open community member seat and the open swing seat. Don't have vacant seats. Okay, the open community member seat. I did ask someone, I want a business person, but he wasn't able to be here today. So if you all want, I'd like to move that to the next meeting in September. If you're okay with the open community member seat. Okay. Fill the open swing seat. We'll now move to fill the open swing seat. This person will serve on the GO Team for a full 2-year term. Nominations for the swing seat member may be made by any GO Team member. I would like to nominate Dr. Bryant and Misty Bryant, who is our graduation coach, for the swing seat. Are there any other nominations? Dr. Bryant, do you want to just mention a little bit about your background, a little bit, and your first year here, what you're doing this year?
I taught in Clayton County for a couple of years a while ago. I served on several PTA boards. I was parent liaison at Luella Elementary and Luella Middle. I served on a parent engagement board, student council. I've been pretty involved. I've been a mentor for Clayton County and Henry County for about 20 years. I'm the graduation coach, so I'm looking forward to working with the juniors and seniors and helping them come to the finish line. I worked in Pink STEM with a nonprofit organization, Pink STEM, for about 7 years, and served schools in Peach County, Henry County, Clayton County, where we brought STEM to the schools in the different programs. So I'm here now, looking forward to being engaged in the group.
She's working with Ms. Rivera at a student government position, so we're about to start all that process.
That's it.
The election process is right through there. Okay, we'll now proceed to vote on the nomination of Dr. Bryant for the swing seat member. All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay or raise your hand. All right, we'll now proceed to vote, student representatives. Our team will have 2 student members appointed by the principal. These students will serve for a 1-year term and will be full voting members of the GO Team. After careful consideration, I appoint Nora Goodman and Christian McKenzie as student members of the GO Team for the school year. Congratulations. You will serve as a student representative for the school year. That's what I get to do. So, okay. And they already kind of introduced themselves, but is there anything else you want to do, Nora? You want to talk a little bit about what you're involved in here at the Christian?
So I'm a junior. I'm a member of Beta Club, TSA. I play mini sports, volleyball. I play basketball. I'm a part of track and field. Believe it or not, I throw a shot put. I know a lot of people get surprised with that. I think I know a lot about the school. I have a younger sibling coming up as a freshman, and I want to have more of an input so that as she comes up, and a lot of people I know will have a great experience here, and I feel like I can be a voice for the rest of the student population.
My name is Christian. I'm a junior, and I'm in a few clubs. I'm in debate. I joined robotics this year, and I've GO Team. I'm also doing cross country and track. So, and the reason why I want to do this is just just be influential in my communities. So like the fact that I can even be here and just be with all y'all, like very influential people, is just amazing. And that's what I want to be.
Thank you. Welcome. We're happy to have you. And you are voting members, so. Okay, we will now approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting. The minutes have been posted. Are there any corrections? Website, read the, okay. All right, so if there are no corrections, can I have a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes? So, a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye, raise your hand.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? All right. Okay, so we will now move to electing GO Team officers and representatives. Before we begin the nominations, we'd like to remind the GO Team of the following. Nominations do not have to be seconded. A member may nominate themselves. A member may nominate more than one person for any position. A member may decline a nomination during the nomination process. Students may fill any office or position. Members may not serve more than 2 consecutive terms, for example, 2 years in the same office or position at the same school. Nominees do not have to leave the room during the nomination period or when a vote is taken. If there is more than one nominee for elected office, each nominee will be offered an opportunity to share why they should be elected to the seat. The newly elected officers will assume their positions starting at the conclusion of this meeting and will serve until June 30th. All voting members have only one vote per seat. Any questions about that? This is a nice one. Okay, first, we will elect the GO Team chair. As a reminder, the responsibilities of the chair include, but are not limited to, leading GO Team meetings, working with the principal and GO Team to develop meeting agendas, ensuring every GO Team member has an opportunity to be heard, monitoring team compliance. I will now open the floor to receive chair nominations.
I'd like to nominate Jennifer Keenan to continue the work that she's done in the past year.
I'd like to nominate Shanae Ozoko.
Would any of the nominations, are there any other nominations for chair? Okay. Would either of these nominees, Jennifer or Renee, like to decline the nomination? Okay. If there are no further nominations, I will close the floor. We will begin the confirmation process. We have two people being considered for the chair seat. The nominations for chair are Renee Ozoko and Jennifer Keenan. At this time, I will offer each chair nominee an opportunity to explain why they're the best candidate for the position. Other GO Team members may ask the nominees questions before voting. Ms. Keenan, would you like to go first?
Okay, thank you, everybody. So I served as the chair of the GO Team last year and definitely learned a lot of things about the office. There are a lot of procedural things that need to be done, making sure various documents are submitted and running the GO Team meetings efficiently and smoothly. One of the things I made a priority as chair was to make sure that all members of the GO Team had a voice and that their voices were heard. And I think it's very important to have a chair who has the freedom to be independent and work with the administration, but also have the independence to voice concerns or objections if there are things that the community disagrees with or that other members of the GO Team disagree with. So this is it for me. This is my last time ever being on a GO Team. My last year with APS, but I would very much appreciate the opportunity to serve as a chair for my final year. And I promise to not only work hard, but do my best to make sure that everyone's voice is represented and heard.
Mr. Zuba.
So I would represent the GO Team or Midtown GO Team as a chair. Last year was my first year on the GO Team. I was able to see a lot of things and really open my eyes to the behind the scenes of school and really know what is needed, what is necessary, as well as making sure everyone is heard and having input. Also making sure that the meetings go as planned and as necessary, and being able to meet with Dr. Bachman and have those agendas ready and know exactly what we need to discuss and talk about, as well as looking at the compliance and the meeting laws. So I think I would make a good chair, just knowing what the school needs by being here, as well as making sure everybody has a voice in the meeting.
Thank you. Okay. So, anybody have any questions for our nominees?
I guess,
Your question.
how would you bring your perspective, Ms. Zoko,
Because you are not just the teacher, you're also a parent. One of your students goes here. So how would you contribute both of those lenses to your position as chair?
So by being a teacher as well as a parent, I forgot to mention that I do have a student here. But I do also get to see the logistics side, get to see the teacher's perspective, how the school is run, the things that are needed from that side, as well as the side from the students, what are needed from the students, what they have and what they're given, and as well as being a parent and knowing how the parents can help and be more involved in the school as well.
Any other questions?
Can I ask a other question? I was just curious, as somebody who's new to Go Team and found both people highly qualified, but my kind of gut is to keep a person in office and to continue. Is there a reason why you think that it would make sense to make a change? And I ask you just since since you nominated somebody, not
Yes,
putting you on the spot.
because, well, I wasn't here last year, so I don't know anything about change. I just thought that her two lenses were really important. She can bring both of those into the chair. I think that's very exciting to have that perspective, both perspectives.
Now we'll vote. Please raise your hand to vote for your choice of chair of our Go Team. If you would like to vote for Ms. Keenan, Jennifer Keenan, please raise your hand. Remember this one. Please raise your hand. Now for Ms. Uzoka, raise your hand if you would like for Ms. Uzoka to be our chair. Okay. So the secretary, will we know how each member voted? So there's 4 and 4, right? Is
Member
that-
voted?
The secretary will note how each member voted, so I guess we need to go back and write that down,
Yeah, I
right?
just
Okay,
did the
sorry.
number. Okay, so sorry. Okay, let's do it again. So,
So for Ms. Keenan, raise your hand if you vote for Ms. Keenan.
one second, sorry.
All right, now for Ms. Uzoka, raise your hand.
I'm sorry, just one quick
I'm
second.
sorry.
Okay,
Okay. For Ms. Uzoka.
okay, got it.
Okay. Any abstentions, please say abstain or raise your hand.
Okay, so congratulations to Ms. Uzoka with 5 votes. Yeah, that's it.
Can I make a comment for the notes?
Absolutely.
So, concern I have, this has nothing to do with Mrs. Zoka. She was my oldest teacher last year, and she had a great experience, a wonderful teacher. I have a concern with any teacher being the chair of a Go Team because they report to the principal. So my concern would be independence. Would a teacher or a staff member as a chair have the independence? I mean, 85% of what we do, we're in lockstep, but there are occasions where somebody from the community or someone from Go Team, they have an opinion that, or they, a way to go that's not in lockstep with the principal, and I'm wondering if a staff member, whether it's a teacher or a member of the administration, can effectively serve as chair.
I think procedurally that ship has sailed. I think we've had the election.
Okay.
We've had the vote.
I
So, yeah.
just wanted to note it.
If I can weigh in, really quickly, for anybody who doesn't know me, my name's Diane Jacoby. and I'm the school governance liaison, and I'm here to help and support. Mr. Goldberg, thank you for your concern, but just a reminder, the chair is there to help be the facilitator. At the end of the day, any decision that the GO team makes comes forward as a vote. So, the chair does not have unilateral powers, to just set things. If the GO team wants to place something on the agenda, that's why at the start of every meeting, there's a vote on the agenda, right? If something isn't there that you think should be, you all can vote to add it. Same thing with any other decision that comes through the GO team. So I hope that helps alleviate some of that concern because, again, the chair's there more as a facilitator rather than the sole decision maker. Everything is done by vote. Does that help?
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Congratulations, Mrs. Cooper, you will serve as the GO team chair for the school year. Now we will elect the GO team's vice chair. As a reminder, the responsibilities of the vice chair include, but are not limited to, ensuring the GO team follows parliamentary procedure, working with the principal and chair to develop meeting agendas, acting as chair if the chair is not present. I will now open the floor to receive vice chair nominations.
I nominate Jennifer.
I'm sorry, go
I
ahead.
nominate Jennifer.
Okay. Other nominations? Jennifer, would you like to decline the nomination?
No, I'd be interested in serving you.
All right. If there are no further nominations, I will close the floor. We will begin the confirmation process. We have one person being considered for the vice chair seat. The nomination for vice chair is Jennifer Keenan. This time we would have offered each vice chair nominee an opportunity to explain why they're the best candidate. Jennifer has done that. So if you're ready to begin voting, she's saying that. Please raise your hand to vote for your choice of GO team chair for Jennifer Keenan.
Vice chair.
Any abstentions? All right. Congratulations, Jennifer. You will serve as the GO team vice chair for the school year. Now we will elect the GO team secretary. As a reminder, the responsibilities of the secretary include, but are not limited to, posting GO team documents, agendas, summaries, and minutes to the website, taking minutes of the GO team meetings, ensuring the GO team is in compliance with the Georgia open meeting laws. I'll now open the floor to receive secretary nominations. This is a very popular position.
Just so nobody,
I was gonna nominate Jen with
let me think about that.
Okay.
I'm also secretary of the Calamo board, so it's like, I feel like I can only serve one
Got it.
secretary position. It's just a lot. But thank you, Bob. It's not as scary as it sounds. I've served as a secretary before, and you don't have to actually go to the website. There's somebody here at the school that all you have to do is just pass the document along to the person, and then they upload it to the website. So it's actually a really good way to get your feet wet in the GO teams, because when you have to think about what was discussed and do all the minutes, it really concretizes.
And we have had a student do this before. We worked with Mr. Rosenthal to do it.
May I ask a question? Who has all served more than 1 year, in the GO team, more than
On this GO team or
just a GO team in general?
any GO team?
Yeah, any GO team, just more than 1 year experience. I would like to nominate you. Sir,
I would understand that. I was the secretary last year. Yeah,
you said that's okay.
It doesn't match with it. It's, I'm not tech forward. It's a lot of filing. I'm not respectful of the client.
Now, nominate Ms. Boyd.
See, let's see.
You can nominate yourself.
Yeah.
Scared of voting.
It's not actually.
You can do the tech part.
There's a lot of logistics. I think it might be hard for a new go-to member. I think, yeah, there's a lot of logistics and because of like the technology limitations during the school day, you've got to send documents to different people to upload and different things. But not impossible, but I think it's kind of a pain.
Yeah, I didn't like it. And I felt I couldn't pay attention to the meeting because I had to take the notes.
Well, so Ms. Boyd, did you accept your nomination?
It looks like I'm the only
Your
one.
name is on here. I already typed it.
Okay, does anyone want to ask Ms. Boyd any questions about why she's a good candidate? She's an excellent writer and she.
Yes. Would you want to do it?
I mean, I will, if nobody else is interested.
What I will say is that in the comments you've made in the meeting past year, you're good at summarizing things that we have talked about. And I really appreciate that. And so given that, I think it would be excellent.
I think you'd be an excellent secretary.
All right, so we have one nomination. Please raise your hand to vote for the choice of secretary of the Go Team, Ms. Boyd. Ms. Boyd. You're just not going to vote for yourself, are you? Okay, so there's one. Are you abstaining or are you saying no? Are you abstaining? Okay.
It makes the secretary's job a lot easier if I could say unanimous vote rather than listing everybody's name.
Okay. Congratulations, Ms. Boyd. All right. Now we will elect the Go Team's cluster representative. Cluster representatives may also hold an officer position, chair, vice chair, or secretary. As a reminder, the responsibilities of the cluster representative include, but are not limited to, attending all cluster advisory team meetings, CAT, approximately 3, reporting back to the Go Team on the CAT meetings. I will now open the floor to receive cluster representative nominations.
I'd like to nominate Tamara Jones.
I will nominate Dr. Dobbs. Can I just ask a question about like what the cluster rep actually does besides just attend CAP meetings?
So it's each school within the cluster gets a rep in the principal, for these cluster advisory meetings. And just depending on what the topics of the conversation are, like what comes up each year, it's, going through usually, setting what your priorities are as a cluster, the areas of focus that you want to have. We did a lot last year on community engagement, for instance. So each cluster kind of focuses in on where they want to spend a lot of time. You can't do everything, right? So you have to prioritize what you're going to really work on. And so having voices from all the school communities is very important. So you represent then the Midtown school community in those conversations, recognizing we're all part of the same cluster and need to be all working together synergistically as a whole cluster as opposed to individual schools.
And I would just like to comment, I think it's important that we have continuity in this position. Tamara was our cluster representative last year, and particularly as we're going through long-range planning scenario with APS, I think it's important to have Tamara on the committee. She's been involved with Go Team's LCS for 10 plus years. She has a city planning background, and we need someone in that position who understands facilities.
Let me say with procedural first, and then, okay. Nora, was that good? Did you have any other questions?
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, would any of our nominees like to decline the nomination? Okay. If there are no further nominations, I'll close the floor. We will begin the confirmation process. We have 2 people being considered for the cluster representative seat. The nominations for cluster representative are Dr. Doss and Tim Jones, Ms. James. At this time, I'll offer each cluster rep nominee an opportunity to explain why they're the best candidate for the position. Other GO team members may ask the nominees questions before voting. Dr. Doss, would you like to go first?
Yes, I've been involved in community organizations probably since I was in my 20s. I am very much engaged in the community and focused on policy. My educational policy interest led me to a doctorate in educational policy. And so I really enjoy looking at problems holistically and all of the big parts that go into those. And with the lens of being inside of the classroom, I get to see how those policies actually translate into the reality of the day-to-day. And so it gives me a unique perspective as well. But I've always been passionate about educational policy, and that is what I got my doctorate in, and I enjoy having always worked and served in the community.
And I missed this, but your role at the school is,
High school teacher, or science, sorry.
you're a science
Yes.
teacher. And that's 10th grade.
Yes.
I have a question. Dr. Doss, were you in Atlanta Public Schools before coming here, or were different schools?
Different school districts.
So this is your first, is this your first year in
Second.
Atlanta Public Schools? Second.
Any questions for Dr. Doss? Any other questions?
Dr. Doss, do you think your experience from other, I'm just following up on the Ms. Kate's comment, you think your experience in other school districts would help you to kind of look at what's happening in APS?
Definitely. Having seen the different policies of very different communities, Fayette County and Fulton, and how they impacted the students and how they impacted the clusters, that is important to have seen what is happening not only within APS, but the perspective of other counties as well. Because those are very 2 different places, Fulton, APS, and Fayette County.
And I guess I have one more question. Do you have any connections or experience with the other schools in the Midtown cluster, the elementary schools and the middle school?
Dr. Doss, can I ask you why you decided to come to Midtown?
Yes, I had heard about the rigor of Midtown. I had heard about the diversity of Midtown. I had heard about the engagement that the students have with the life outside of these walls, and how they are very involved in their community. The arts were very exciting. The creativity level that I saw coming out of Midtown, those were all very exciting things that brought me to Midtown.
Tim, we're doing this. Talk a little bit about your
Sure.
interest.
So I have served on cluster advisory teams kind of since they got started, and they've evolved over the years in Atlanta Public Schools a little bit. And so cluster advisory teams they don't get involved in policy discussions with the administrator, the school administration, the school board. There is a subset, so there's another level called the executive committee, where each cluster advisory team has a representative on the executive committee. And that's an ad hoc committee that the superintendent can call on if they have sort of pressing district-wide kind of questions. The cluster advisory team mostly talks about things within their own cluster, and then some school-based or district-based kind of things. One of the things that I've been really concerned about with cluster advisory teams is that they have lost a little bit of their kind of importance. Like the idea of the cluster advisory teams were that they had much more voice, with the administration arguing for what the cluster action committee. And so, getting back to that more structured, a little bit rigorous thing, making sure that there's communication channels between the cluster advisory team, because that's something we argued last year, is that they don't have protocols for, back and forth. Diane was helping us create, some of that understanding what the communication channel, is between the district and the cluster advisory team. One of the things we did in our focus on community engagement, because that was so important to the cluster, was form a subcommittee. So we formed a committee, and other clusters are now asking us, they're now setting up committees. So we have a community engagement committee. They put on they get ideas of what kind of the burning issues are for people within the cluster. And then did some deep dives with district staff, on Zoom, to try to get as many people involved to talk about all of the issues. And one of the great things about bringing the data team into things like that is that some of the impressions or opinions, that people might have, sometimes go differently after they see the actual data. We did a big data dig with SINS, for instance. We're a co-host of that, and I think that committee especially has so much potential that I really want to continue to flesh it out, to give voice to more sectors of our community that don't come to the table.
What do you view as Midtown Cluster's greatest challenges, greatest opportunities?
Gosh, we have a lot of positives, and Dr. Goss hit on a lot of those. Keeping that is going to be a big focus. So, making sure that, we can maintain the things that make Midtown special while continuing to, you can always grow, right? Continuing to grow, in areas that we need to grow. Making sure that everybody has a voice and that the cluster acts together as one and that we don't separate into fiefdoms, because that's always a danger. We lost a little bit of cohesion over the pandemic, and getting all of that back, I think, is going to be very important. Obviously, the facilities master plan, the first meeting is today, for the public options, and, just making sure that we're going to be taken care of, that, yes, we're full, and they're supposed to be giving us an addition now, but, arguing for how do we make sure we can maintain, being realistic and making sure we can continue to maintain the kind of experience that probably makes you guys want to be on this body, right? So those, we've got a lot of positives and a lot of things that, we have to pay attention to. But, definitely the community engagement is big. Just making sure that we operate as one and that we get a multitude of voices.
Tamara, I have, I guess, two questions. I guess one, how do you feel that your experience serving on the school board helps you as cluster rep? And two, how would you describe your ties with the other schools in the Midtown cluster?
Okay, so serving as a board member really helped me, I think, last year when we had the budget issues that we had. And so as I was also the cluster advisory team CAT chair. And so we were able to get special called meetings to discuss our budget issues, or cluster-wide budget issues, with the district, because I knew how the budget process goes. And, it did result in a little bit more money. So, understanding how the district functions, what the roles of the school board are, as being a school board member, working with the administration, knowing how they function, knowing how this body functions with them or not. That has really helped. My relationship with previous schools, my kids went to Mary Lynn back in the day. Like I said, I only have one, my youngest is a senior, so I'm out after this. I'm done. And, my kids went to Inman, and I was on the big team there, secretary during all that stuff. And then my youngest went for a year at Howard. And here, and so I've had experience with, all the different levels, 2 different middle schools. It's been a journey. It really has, but, I gotta give credit to a lot of the people, who run this school, who run the other schools, and a lot of the parent volunteers and teacher volunteers that make bodies like this function, because that's what really makes it work.
Any other questions or comments? Or nominees? Okay, I'm going to move to voting. Please raise your hand and vote for your choice plus a representative of our GO team. Raise your hand if you'd like to vote, if you vote for Dr. Doss.
Okay, 1 second. Sorry, guys, just 1 more second. I don't know if you got everyone. Okay, thank you.
Raise your hand if you'd like to vote for Tara Jones.
Wait, then. Do you put your hands up just 1 more time? Okay, thank you.
Any abstentions, please say abstain or raise your hand. So, Dr. Jennifer.
Yeah, sorry.
So,
Just
am I
1
correct,
second.
5-4 for Dr. Doss?
Yes, that's correct.
Congratulations, Dr. Doss, you'll serve as the GO team plus rep for the school year. Next item of business, review and approve public comment protocol. We will now move to our next item of business in reviewing and updating or confirming our GO team's public comment protocol. Public comment opportunities are available for GO teams to hear from interested members of the community. From section 3.4 of the GO team handbook, opportunities for public comment shall be provided at least 4 times in the school fiscal year and noted on the GO team's webpage and meeting agenda. GO team members may not provide responses or engage in direct conversation during public comment. Each GO team will determine a consistent method for receiving public comments and for parents and other citizens to sign up to address the team. At least 20 minutes of time will be allotted for the public to make comments at meetings where public comment is permitted, and the public will receive at least 2 business days notice of public comment protocol. Some tips for public comment protocols in the GO team handbook. The GO team is not required to schedule time for public comment at every meeting. Public comment should be scheduled for major action items that need a GO team vote that will require public input or need public buy-in. Consider the schedule of the school community for those meetings that do allow public comment in order to give the community a chance to participate. Set a specific time for your public comment period. For example, you can allot a 20-minute segment on the agenda for public comment and allow each member of the public to have 2 minutes to speak during the segment. At the end of the public comment period, the chair should close the public comment and move on to the next agenda item. Post a clear process for how individuals sign up or indicate they wish to speak. GO team members should not respond during the public comment period. Public comment period is designed to gain input from the public, not for immediate responses by the GO team to the public comment presented. The GO team should listen attentively to all comments and take the summation of the comments into consideration when making decisions. Remind the public that a scheduled public GO team public comment period on the agenda is not the only means of providing input. The GO team should encourage the public to contact them via their APS email addresses. Emails sent to GO team members about school concerns will also consider public comment. If there are urgent matters that need the GO Team's attention, the school can organize information sessions or the GO Team can schedule separate public comment meetings to gather that information from stakeholders. Please take a moment to review our current public comment protocol and information. And that is that we always allow public comment at the end of every meeting. That's how we've done it for the last 2 years. Are there any recommendations or updates or changes to the Midtown public comment protocol?
Yeah, one of the other provisions that we had last year in the Midtown GO Team public comment is we removed the first bullet point there, and instead we had Midtown High School GO Team will allow 10 minutes of public comment after roll call and 10 minutes of public comment at the end of every GO Team meeting. Yeah. And then, as was noted, we also had our final bullet point was Midtown GO Team will allow public comment at each meeting following the first GO Team meeting. We had the second, third, fourth, and fifth bullet points plus those two I just mentioned.
I thought that worked well last year.
I do too.
Yeah, I like having both places that way for
They
parents.
can't see it.
Yeah, because they had an opportunity no matter what their schedule was, so I think that was good for balance.
So I'd like to make a motion to adopt the public comment protocol that we used for the 24-25 school year.
So can I ask one clarification? So you're saying the 20 minutes are split with 10 for the beginning, and is that 10 minutes prior to when we vote on the agenda for the current meeting?
After we vote, after vote.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do actually think it would be useful if you have public comment at the beginning of the meeting to have it before GO Team members are asked whether they want to add any items to the agenda.
Right.
So we use the public comment to inform whether I think there are any agenda items that need to be added.
Yeah, so we had it after roll call.
So that's before.
Yeah, after roll
Before
call,
the-
before the agenda.
Yeah,
Okay.
before.
Ms. Kennedy has made a motion to adopt the public comment protocol. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Wait 1 second.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna do Yuzoka. She was right. She was in my line.
Maybe.
Okay, just 1 more second. Okay, I'm ready now. Okay, all those in favor? Yeah. Okay, any opposing? Wait, were you opposing? Oh, you, okay. Any, abstentions? Okay, so just 1 second. Okay, sorry, thank you, Dr. Bachman.
Okay. Adhering to our agenda, we'll now discuss our meeting calendar for the school year. As a reminder, our GO Team is required to have at least 6 business meetings this school year. 4 of the meetings must permit time for public comment. Meetings cannot be held during the day, instructional day. Meetings must be live streamed and recorded, and meeting locations for hybrid meetings must be in places which can accommodate the public. So I have suggestions for meeting dates and times. I'm going to write them on the board, and of course, if there are other suggestions or comments, just so you know. So today's does not count, but I'm going to write that down anyway. It's an organizational meeting. Doesn't count as a business meeting. Of course, Midtown, we have to work around the festivals, everything. The fall break. I'm putting 2 in here for February because, you know, we often get bogged down in February with the budget. So I've just put down 2. We're going to, of course, as we get more into the year, we can change this. Are there other recommendations, suggestions for meeting dates? And we need that for, sorry, 9:30. Any other suggestions?
Just one second, let me write these down and then I think we have
Sure.
some comments, so just one second, please. Sorry. Mark. Okay,
Was it time for coming out? I was gonna write, it's September 22nd, I believe, is our Rosh Hashanah, so I know at least I will miss that.
Okay.
Schedule it.
Okay. We can change that.
Either the 15th or the 29th.
29th, okay. Would you like to change it to 29th?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you mention why there was nothing in October? This,
Bob, we're-
We don't really vote on that, but is everybody okay with that? Don't know.
we don't need to vote on it? Okay. That's good news.
We now need to determine at which meeting we will allocate time for public comment regarding.
Oh, we already did that, yeah, we said all.
Great, okay.
Do we, I can't remember, when was the budget approval date last year?
Well, we had extra meetings, remember?
Right,
They
I
were special?
remember,
They were extra.
exactly, yes.
So this is when you're supposed to finalize, done, final.
Okay,
This is when all the discussion.
okay, that's why I was wondering, that one, because that's like, those 3 or 6 weeks apart, so. We're gonna have to, well, not really 6 weeks apart, a month apart, every 2 weeks.
And this year is gonna be a lot like last year, so that they'll know what the concerns last year were, so it won't drag out.
Now that we have determined our calendar, we have a motion to approve the calendar.
Dr. Bachman.
It's only been 27 years I've been doing this, okay. Do we have that motion?
Excuse me, can you just call out the dates, because we can't see the board, so, thank you.
Just say the dates.
Oh, sure. August, business meetings, September 29th, November 10th, January 12th, February 9th and 23rd, and March 9th.
Did you get that, Diane?
I just want to make sure I heard it right. You said September 22nd, November,
September 29th.
September 29th,
September 29th, November 10th,
yes,
January 12th?
yes.
Okay, and then February 9th, February 23rd, and March 9th.
Yes.
Okay, a couple of things really quickly. One, largely because this year you're going to have to refresh your strategic plan because the district did a new one. We are asking all GO teams to hold at least 3 meetings in fall semester so that you have the sufficient time to look at your strategic plan, align it to the districts, and still have those priority rankings before you get to your budget. Secondly, we have been told, okay, here's the disclaimer I always give. Finance controls the budget process. But we have been told that principals will receive their allocations on January 14th. Now, that is subject to change, but your January 12th meeting would be too early, so Dr. Bachman would not be able to bring you that allocation on January 12th. And then the rest of the meetings would be fine based off of historic budget. Because the finance would like in the past, finance has wanted the budgets, the drafts completed before staffing conferences, but you have a meeting on February 9th and staffing conferences may or may not occur by the 23rd. So you'd probably be okay.
So Diane, Ms. Uzoka made a motion on the old dates. Should she just withdraw her motion or?
Yes, that's what I would suggest. Just withdraw the motion.
She reversed motion.
Oh, what about moving the January one to December so that we meet the
Yeah,
three deadline and not
and
one
then
in
maybe
January?
February one, end of January. And that would give us,
Okay, so we're saying December, is it possible?
Instead.
Sometime in the first 2 weeks.
December 8th.
And then what was this?
And should we move February?
What about
and then maybe
January?
move the February
Yeah.
9th to like a January,
Yeah.
yeah, January 26th. And I think those are good,
And then leave that there.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, so we read that off? Yes.
So Diane, our new dates are, so September 29th, November 10th, December 8th, January 26th, February 23rd, and March 9th.
I move that we adopt that calendar.
A second,
Okay, just be aware with that February 23rd meeting that it is largely dependent. It is largely dependent on finances timeline, and that if that meeting is not before staffing conferences, you will need to reschedule it. I know that February 9th would have been fine, but I understand. But just kind of keep that in mind. Okay? And all the meetings would be at 4 o'clock?
Yes.
Okay. I have 9:29, 11:10, 12:08, 1:26, 2:23, and 3:09.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much.
Back to, we have a motion to approve this calendar.
We did, we have a motion in a second.
yes.
All in favor, please raise your hand if you are in favor of this calendar. Okay, very light, that's it. Okay. No abstentions. All right. Okay. Please enter these dates into your personal calendar so you don't forget. I didn't make that up, that's actually. Okay. Now we will determine our GO Team meeting norms. We'll begin by reviewing the initial GO Team meeting norms. This is a meeting of the GO Team. Only members of the team may participate in the discussion. Any members of the public present are here to quietly observe. We will be fully present. We will follow the agenda as noticed to the public and stay on task. We'll be respectful of each other at all times. We'll be open-minded. We invite and welcome contributions of every member and listen to each other. We'll invite all ideas and assume good intentions. We'll approach differences of opinion with curiosity. Does anyone have any changes to these rules? Okay. We can vote to leave the norms unchanged. May I have a motion to adopt these norms for our GO Team?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand. These norms. Okay.
That's unanimous.
That's it.
All
Okay.
right.
One word.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, Dr.
Go ahead.
The motion was motion,
To
To
adopt the norms that I read,
okay,
I guess.
to adopt,
It's changed.
Yeah.
okay.
The same.
Okay. Okay.
I apologize, I need to be part due to scheduling conflict. My movement doesn't change for the.
The next couple of things are the discussion items, and the first one is stakeholder engagement exercise. Then this, and then we'll have informational items. So, stakeholder engagement exercise. Next, we're going to discuss stakeholder engagement. As a charter system, the decisions that GO Team makes shape our school's future, and the best decisions come from hearing the diverse voices within our school community. When we bring families, students, staff, and our community into the work, not just into the audience, we get stronger ideas, better outcomes, and a shared vision we can all stand behind. Here's the challenge. We're going to look at 4 groups: families, students, staff, and community. For each one, we'll answer 3 questions. Three questions are inform, input, and invite. So remember, we're talking about these stakeholder groups and how we can bring them into the community, into the discussion. So this is something new. We've never done this before. So okay, so for informing, let's think about the 4 groups that we have. What's a fun or unexpected way to keep them in the loop? So let's talk about families first. You might have any suggestions for that?
Could we do something at sporting events?
Oh, that's a good idea. Because actually, a lot of people show up.
Do something what?
Do something at sporting events?
Like, oh, okay.
Some way to distribute information at sporting events? I think that would be and at plays or something, like before a play started, or?
This has always been an issue with GO teams,
Yeah.
in that we actually don't have a communication vehicle,
Right.
right? So, we're tasked with this engagement piece, but we don't have anything, like we don't have a newsletter or, I don't want to start that. So we're gonna have to think about, like, the district doesn't give you any sort of framework for actually communicating. There's no mechanism. You're just saying, go off, communicate with your neighbors. Right. I guess that's just picking up the phone. I don't know, but it's really not organized. And I think, doing something more deliberate is good.
Is someone gonna fill in this chart? I mean, there's no way I can fill in, I don't even have that chart.
It's in there.
All right, I got it on my.
Okay.
Is that on something we have?
It's an email, but it's a PDF too, so.
No, I can, you got.
What would be communicated to the family? What type of messaging?
Yeah, I think that's the first question. What are we trying to get across? And so we've got our audiences here, and then we have to decide what kind of content we're trying to.
It probably depends on what we're communicating.
Because that's pretty loose. Keep them in the loop.
Right.
I mean, actually, to be honest, I didn't know what a GO team was until I was, I saw nominations for teachers, and I was like, oh, okay. So I think just first informing of what it is and what it does, or even just sending out them coming to a meeting or going on YouTube and watching a meeting so they can see what it's about. So I think it's more so just informative, first off, because a lot of people, parents, communities do not know what a GO team is.
I would agree with that. I mean, I know my mom personally, when I told her about this opportunity, she was like, yeah, I have absolutely no clue what that is at all. And I mean, I know she was pretty on top of it, but like talking to other people and my friends and their parents, kind of like, what are you talking about? I mean, I had absolutely no clue what to expect or anything before coming here. So I think we'll definitely be giving like a general idea of what actually happens.
The district website for all of this is pretty important. Like that Diane manages.
Yeah.
It's
overwhelming or informative?
no, I mean, like, most of your questions get answered there. And just being able to go there. People need to know to go there. That's it. Just knowing where to go to see, okay, this is what a GO team, this is how it functions, and
But so as a parent, and my days are completely shot. So I would need something that's easily digestible. Going to a website for me, I know there's a lot of information, but I wouldn't even know what to ask or what questions to look for. So I think something that's easily digestible for parents who are like me, where I've got like 30 minutes a day to look at anything other than sports, work, dinner, snacks, everything, you know, so just,
So this way is a go-to that goes all the way across.
I think the message you want to get, it depends, it's like, what's the current events and what does the school want to get out? So I don't think we can say what we want to get out. I don't think it's a bad idea educating people on the Go Team, but I do, like, you know, I have 2 kids in 9th and 10th grade, and I get like 2 emails a day, 3 emails a day from it, so I think it's too much. Like, I don't know if we want to give parents so much more.
stuff, yeah.
Could we have something on the night, is there something we could,
That's
put
why I
a
said
go-to
about
link on the nightly
We've
news?
done that before.
Or have them shoot
Years
something
ago.
informative.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
but
fun
then
and
somebody has to,
engaging.
because
somebody
that's
has to
such a
take that on.
consistent place. Well, I guess if I'm gonna do minutes,
What is the
or
90 news?
Nora and
It's our
Christian
school-
maybe
it's
help
our
me with
school
that part.
news.
Oh, that might be a good idea.
Yeah,
That's a really good
Yeah.
idea.
You
K&I.
can help me, but
Like how we get the
No,
message out there.
K&I.
Okay.
I know way more people look for something than I do. I know people subscribe, I mean, at least people I know, I mean, my friends who are part of Southern, I'm not part of Southern staff, but you're supposed to get like a specific amount of subscriptions from various parents. So I know a lot of adults who subscribe to either like the online site or just go look at it or have the physical paper.
That was a literary, it doesn't report.
No, Southerners and News. Southerners and News.
Yeah.
Unmasking
You're
is
thinking
the
about
literary
Unmasking.
magazine.
Yeah.
Right, there's just not a whole lot of news. in
Or you could
Southern.
Oh, there it is.
No, I know that, I know, I've had kids on.
Oh, okay.
on the staff, but, I guess we could do that.
Schoology
Sure.
is the same, you know, as well, you know, you post, because I know giving flyers out at a game, I know where they're gonna go in the trash. So
Right.
putting something on Schoology as well, or in the Southerners, those are the different.
We
digital
could do,
outlets.
like at a game, that we could put a QR code up, and a lot of the people see a QR code, they'll automatically
They're
take a
automatically,
picture.
yeah.
You know, they'll automatically,
And that would be kind of fun and unexpected, where you could,
yeah.
you know, determine, you know, whoever's delivering the message could make it fun and
I would say
exciting, where
that
people are
all
listening.
school events, yeah,
Yeah.
theater.
You just gotta get somebody that's entertaining on the mic that would draw the attention of it.
A lot of parents, I'm sorry to say, a lot of parents don't use Schoology.
Or just like have something, I know people, I mean, my friends or people I know are interested in writing like new ideas. So like Go Team, it could be a very good article idea. And I mean, I know you know people on the Southerner too. So convey information, they could write an article about it, or even just having like a link to the Southerner. Like I feel like that'd be
Yeah.
a much better way just to get information out overall. And I feel like you have way more people who have access to it.
Yeah, I guess the issue is we don't control the Southerner. I mean, the Southerner is a student
Right.
publication, so I guess we could request.
Yeah, you have to ask, talk to the editors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely, who's that? Audrey and,
Audrey, Brennan.
okay.
Like,
That's
like
trying to
you
look
can
at the
talk to
editors
them,
for you.
Laura.
Now,
Yeah, Laura.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Asher.
Okay. What's a meaningful way to get ideas and feedback from these groups?
Maybe, I like the idea of the QR codes and, putting it out on the nightly news, on the Schoology and, at events. And then it will have the the bites of what we're about to talk about.
Like upcoming idea.
And then a
upcoming
link for a
topics.
Google form.
Yeah.
And we can have access to that as the Go Team to get some feedback.
There's just somebody else to do that.
I apologize. I was taking notes and so overwhelmed by this chart. Is this stakeholder engagement related to the Go Team, or is it stakeholder engagement generally? Like, we're focusing on how to get information out about the Go Team.
Let's ask about the Go Team.
Or if you go,
Yes.
oh, it
That's
is,
what I thought.
okay.
So I'll read,
Thank
as
you.
a charter system, the decisions the Go Team makes shapes our school's future, and the best decisions come from hearing diverse voices within our school communities. So we need to, right, how do people communicate with us, I guess, more than just public comment?
Right, about the topics and the ideas we're discussing
Okay.
for the school in its future.
And I think the QR code leading to a Google form asking for little feedbacks to like bullet size, bite size topics for about, everyone can do that either on their computer or their phone, which nobody walks around without.
Right.
So that might be nice.
Yeah, if we could have like if we can get out a basic, what's it go team about for curriculum night,
Oh, yeah.
then that can be our first, that can be our first.
Curriculum
event. What do you think? I think we can do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So other than the Google form, so from our students, what would be meaningful ways to get their input? I mean, we have you guys, so that's one step, but,
And Dr. Bryant is working with Ms. Rivera with student government, so that could be another way to get input.
I mean, I know that I look at Schoology, I know a lot of people who don't look at Schoology or look at like the main message board at all. I mean, half the time people have no clue what's going on the week, like they don't even know if it's an A or a B day. So, yeah, so like, but one thing that really works is, I don't know, but like, if teachers were to when you're forced to take a survey at school, you're gonna do it. Like Miss Boyd, when you put up someone's research survey, like you have to do this, or you're gonna get like this thing, or like you can get candy if you do.
Incentive, yeah.
Like an incentive, people will do it. If like, I mean, I'll give you Jolly Rancher if you take the surveys. Everybody's gonna do it.
survey for a Jolly Rancher.
then you get into like survey design is a very,
Right.
complicated thing. I mean, it's not complicated, but you have to be really focused so you don't lead, you know.
That's why it's good to have an AP research team.
There you go.
I was just in charge of that.
Excellent.
Yeah. And AP stats.
Oh, no, I don't do every sense.
Wrong class.
Sorry.
What if there was just an open-ended piece that we put in, not a piece, a paragraph or two in the Southerner? What would students like to see from the GO team? Here's what the GO team does. And it's something similar on maybe Schoology, because I do agree, survey's a lot of work, and like, how do you design one that's meaningful? I think just maybe an open-ended question.
Just a suggestion box, an electronic suggestion box?
I think that'd be a great idea. Just have like a suggestion box, like even like out there, just like just like improvements or like any comments on what could be improved. But just out there would be great, because a lot of people spend time in the media center, like lobby. Yeah. So they spend a lot of time there, and like many people could just see that and like, oh, boom, you know.
I also want to be cautious about what we're asking for and whether we're even allowed to implement that. Because isn't the agenda for GO Team quite reined in already? Are we?
Right, there's certain things that we discuss at every meeting. So I agree, you don't want to ask people for information if we can't do something.
Right.
The GO team is not. So I wonder if we want to team up with the SGA with that box or however, because some of the stuff might actually be like SGA.
Right.
I just hate asking for input.
Yeah, I would think of like an open thing would be more like school-wide, and then if it's
Right.
GO team things that they would just put with our agenda. But I don't think it would be too big of a problem to do a survey that has to go in and think about what are our agenda items for the year, and you can kind of think ahead and have feedback about some of those things. So I think we can design that.
I think it's important to design around an agenda, but isn't part of the reason you would do something like this, that you catch something that you don't know is an issue?
Right.
Like 3 students say, I can't get clean toilet paper in the bathroom, and I'm just making something up. And that's something that, or I don't know what the issue is, but whatever it is that you didn't know about. So I think it should go above and beyond just what's on the agenda.
Oh, absolutely.
But I also, and then I was just thinking, in terms of our public comment being before, the meeting and the agenda, it also could help if, people watch the YouTube before and possibly say, oh, well, after seeing the meeting, I thought about this, could this be a discussion or something like that? So actually having them preview previous meetings as well as being able to see the agenda, that could also give in, because the meetings are public. So if they missed it, at least in the beginning of the public comment, that they know, okay, you can make a comment, so they could comment on what they saw. And if we didn't discuss it or touch it, or if they wanted something, so putting them, I think too, just getting them to the Go Team website and seeing, because everything is posted there, the previous meetings, the minutes, the agenda. So getting them there, then they'll be able to give us feedback or anything that they want to discuss or input.
Absolutely. I'm sorry. I want to add on to that. It's just like even though we need to get them there, we need them to be like an active participant in it, because now that information is a lot. Like you see a video an hour and like. It gets to be a lot. So I feel like if we gotta find like an easy way to just get them like as like ease them into like being a community member, and then just like, oh, I know how to like navigate the video, so I can like come back and just comment.
So, just to take everybody's anxiety down, it did say brainstorming. So I don't think we have to figure this all out today. But these are like some good ideas, and like people might go back and start thinking about, like I was thinking, is that something Let's Talk could do? But it could go into a box that's just for you, just for the Go Team at this school, because they can do that. They can post things, directly. You just have to ask them.
Yeah.
So the purpose of those boxes was just for us to brainstorm, not to actually fill them out.
Oh, I know, we have to fill them out, some. We didn't get to invite, like.
Yeah, we only did inform and input.
So invite is, how do you involve the, in making the decisions, bring them into the work.
I think I like the QR codes, in all different places, curriculum night, sports events, theaters, on the TV monitors in the hallway, in the nightly news. And
Yes,
so,
but bringing them into the work means bringing them into the work, like having them help do things.
Because I mean, these are not permanent positions either.
Yeah.
So knowing, like I said, I didn't know about it until I saw it, and I was like, oh, okay, let's look. And I was talking to another colleague about it, and that's why I signed up. So in the community, in here, the students, getting them to know more about it as well, because as years go by, people fall off and other people have to come in. So it's still, like you said, inviting them to the work. That's one way to get them more informed about it, to know that, hey, these positions aren't permanent. Certain positions are 2 years, certain are 1 year, so that they know, okay, upcoming, this is what the position is, if I'm interested, and how can I help?
So one thing we haven't used much over the last few years is, and that's not us, but just in general, is committees. Like when we had local school council, actually had a lot of committees that were specific oriented to issues, like if we have, I can't even think of one right now, but if we have, some issue that we're really grappling with, that could be handled by a committee, that's a place where we can pull in some people.
You mean like an engagement committee?
Like the one we did for the CAP.
So engagement committee, you could tackle both. How do you get the word out about, to the students and the community about the work the Go Team is doing, what the Go Team is? And the other way is the PSA. How would you like to get involved in the Go Team, be a member of the school community, be involved in budgeting, blah, blah, blah?
We could put something on that night view. Mr. Roberts does the audio visual, the thing that comes out every week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or every 2 weeks.
Students, I mean, y'all should do a little quick segment on that. Like, hey, we're the representatives of the student representative of the Go Team. We could just talk a minute on that.
And you could get them familiar with the QR code, so you can say, this is what it means, and then, so when you see a QR code, this is your opportunity to, scan it, or they can all scan it.
They have 2 cameras.
Also about that, like since like they don't have their phones, we have to put it near the exits where they have like, because it's so much easier to just pull out your phone. And just,
Yeah.
And then you
Right.
just have after-school extracurriculars and
Oh,
they're
yeah,
still
well,
on
they can-
campus, so they can still
Right.
see.
But I think they would listen to you guys, if you guys would be willing to.
Well, I think we have to do something more, like Nora's right, we rarely have time in class to show night view the way we used to do it.
Rarely do it.
Like, we used to have it during SEL.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we can have one day, like whenever the night view's coming out, if we say we're not having any announcements that day, and we remind everybody, hey, teachers, everybody, let's log in and show night view.
Right.
Like, and that would be like, we could do that and play, and in that way, I think that becomes a bigger part of that, so I think that would be a.
I mean, the announcement time, like allotted for it is very long, like it's a long period of time, and the nightly news takes how long?
Not views like,
minutes?
eight
But
minutes
don't they do it
typically.
on Fridays, right? They put it out on Fridays?
Well, it came out today, there was one that came out
Oh.
today.
Cause I was gonna say we could designate it, maybe a Friday or something to just, cause I think that's what it was.
It used to be always on Fridays.
Yes, and on that Friday, that announcement time period to show.
And again, we're just incentives.
Yeah.
Incentives.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they're for teenagers.
Mhm.
We're not gonna like do a long QR code for no parent, no apparent reason.
Yeah.
Okay, those are some great suggestions. We'll come back to this in September, of course, but, because I think we need to think about it, see how some
Yeah.
of these things play out.
Right.
I will talk to Mr. Roberts tomorrow, though, about a little segment on the next one. Great. Okay.
I do have a quick question. Do we collaborate with any of the other teams to see how they're doing it? And maybe someone's already doing it effectively where we could just do what they're doing already? Does that make sense? Or no?
That makes sense.
Like, someone may already have something that works really well for them. And
You mean another Go Team in another school?
yes, I didn't know if we
The cat,
collaborate.
the cat, once the meeting, they'll probably do that, we'll probably take it there.
Those are only like 3 times a year.
What does the student government do to like get out more information? Because I honestly didn't know we had student government until last year.
We didn't have it last year.
Okay, so
Last
not
year.
very-
That's what I heard.
It's coming
So
back.
we're working on it.
I think we had one, right? Yeah.
We have our campaign going this week.
Yeah.
And so once we have our first meeting, we'll let them do what they do and, decide the different things that they want to put on the agenda and go from there. So we really don't have a concrete plan right now because we want them to be able to run that and decide, make the decisions on how we do that. So we'll wait to hear their voices.
Now, just move on to a couple of informational items, as we try to wrap up this meeting. I just have an update a little bit on our enrollment. Right now, we're at 1732, which is 32 over projection.
So they won't be taking anything from us again, but then we didn't get what we needed.
So we will get money back. We will get
Oh, good.
a whole back money back, and then we'll get an additional amount for each student over. So we'll talk about that at the next meeting for sure. We
But
we haven't finished leveling that.
We just get the base funding.
Right.
We don't get the weighted funding. So,
Okay, and then just an update on the district electronic device. Of course, we're a year ahead, and so that's going fine. The district is implementing it, village enforcing it K-12. Much more. So we have some comrades now, which is great, but we're still with the same policy.
We have some comparisons from last year, so we're
Okay.
getting better.
Go ahead, Jennifer, you want to start?
So if we look at the first 15 days of school compared to last year, we have a 50% reduction in the number of students who had first-time infractions, 78% reduction in the second-time infractions, 33% in the third. And while we did have fourth infractions at this time last year, we have no student who has had a fourth infraction at this time last year. So I think we've our kids have figured it out.
The district policy is very clear about you lose the privilege of the cell phone. So like I have EFG, that's my alpha. And like I have a student right now who's already on his or her second. And so the next is they lose it for the semester. They bring it, and this is a student that was used twice in class, but, yeah, so they'll lose it for this semester. And how we enforce that is gonna be a challenge. That's what the parents have got to do, those on board with that, so. Okay.
So can you go back and show the disciplinary consequences? So there's no detentions, there's no suspensions like there was last year. So those are the
Right, this
infractions.
is, the district is, you're right.
We have to be in lockstep with the district.
Where, is this on the website?
Mhm.
It is,
This one?
because this is the Midtown Personal Electronic Device, is that in the,
It's in the student handbook.
okay.
Out of sheer curiosity, have you caught anybody with the meta glasses yet? How do you test for that? Like,
We know what they look like, don't worry.
crazy.
Are they like super big?
No, they're not.
They're not
They're
that big.
regular. But
Is there anyone on this call that is with the facilities master plan task force?
No,
And
I put a note in the online one for them to join our Zoom, but no one has joined, so we don't have a representative from the.
The one that was on there, Jenny was.
Yeah, I know, I put in a note for her to join our Zoom, but she didn't get back on our Zoom.
Okay. Well, as Timber referred to, there are meetings today, but there's a task force that's been very hard at work, looking at lots of options, scenarios for the way things are imbalanced, I guess, with student enrollment across the district and things that they're having to do. So a report was presented to the board at the August 11th meeting, and the options will become public the week of August 18th, which they have been. They are posted.
So Tamara and I are both on the task force. So I guess I can start with an update. So with respect to the Midtown cluster, there was only one recommendation in the proposals that were released last week. Or no, I wouldn't say recommendation, option. It's not a recommendation, I apologize. So the option for, the one option that was presented for the entire Midtown cluster is adding 300 seats to Midtown High School via an expansion. So
Sometime 0 in 5 years.
I thought it was 350.
the numbers have been in flux quite a bit,
Okay,
but the
okay.
number on that proposal was 300.
Okay.
So there were no proposed changes to Howard or the elementary schools, whereas other clusters had changes, consolidating elementary schools, shifting lines, different things. So there was nothing done to address the imbalance in the elementary school enrollment. Spark is under enrolled, Morningside is already at capacity. VHE is increasing very quickly. No recommendations were made for Howard. No recommendations were made on how to address the under-enrollment at Washington High School. There were 0 recommendations related to Washington High School. So you can see all of the, I keep saying recommendations and I apologize.
Scenarios.
Options,
That's
scenarios,
what they call it.
scenarios, yes. You can see the various scenarios
Which are not final.
on the document that was presented, and there's a series of public meetings to receive input on the various scenarios.
And the other thing a lot of the other clusters are dealing with is how to utilize unused buildings. We don't have any. So there was no request to discuss that. There actually is one version that pulls FL Stanton into Washington High School, but it's not a whole lot of kids. But that's one amongst 3, I think, for the Douglas place. Moving something out of Douglas and then into Washington.
They didn't do it, they should have done a corresponding slide for Washington to show that,
Yeah.
but I don't think it was.
And that was the only one where they actually recommended shifting from one cluster to another. It was the only school. So, there was a presentation, a virtual one, with not a presentation, it wasn't all a presentation, but not a lot of, it was question and answer, but there were a lot of people on it, so they say that they're going to collect all the questions and try to answer them all, so people can go back and look at it. So that one was at noon today, and there's one in person downtown, at 6 o'clock. And then there's some more, if you go to the, district website, you know, there's some upcoming ones that people will be able to get more input on. So they view it as what they call iterative, so this is a good first stab, and then they're gonna get feedback, and then they're gonna, you know, it's gonna go like that. So yes, they said, so in addition to 0 to 5 years, yeah, we're, you know, we'll grow from here to there. So, you know, one of the things in the question that was talked about this morning,
Diane?
at noon was, the consultant that was there mentioned something about
Yes, I know.
how, you
I'll
know,
let you
time,
Okay.
staggering times that kids go to school. You know, when the conversation about Midtown came up, he said something about, you know, a lot of school districts, not that our district would be open to that, but, you know, he said, you know, his experience, you know, he's advised, you know, other school districts to consider, you know, the times when kids are not normally in school. Evening or on the weekends, I mean,
Per year.
so that,
Night school? Is that what you're saying?
it didn't go very far. I mean,
Good.
I imagine that.
So teachers need to work 15 hours a day.
Correct.
And I, you know, I think that they would constantly are like that would take a long time to figure out how to do something.
All right, well, we are kind of wrapping up here. The G3 Summit is, the Go Team Summit is Saturday, September 27th. We need as many Go Team members as possible to attend. This is a critical opportunity to come together in person to shape the future of our schools. Strategic planning for 2025 to 2030 is underway. So save the date. We'll send out more about that. Go Team office would like to remind all Go Team members that they are required to complete orientation within 1 year of joining the team and must be renewed every 4 years. Failure to complete this will result in removal from the Go Team.
Where is this summit? Is it online or is it in person?
I think it's in person.
Where do they hold it usually?
Oh,
Oh,
okay, I don't.
You're the beginning date.
You'll get emails, don't worry.
Yeah.
Plenty of them.
Okay, all right, well, any announcements? We are at the end of our meeting. Is there anything? Okay. All right, well, our next meeting, of course, is the 29th. We'll be pushing out information before that. Thank you, everybody, for your attention and involvement today. Really. Thank you. I move to